First things first, when I came to Korea, I did very little research, so I had no expectations. I spent time in Japan where there are lots of similarities, the general quiet and respectful culture, there's Wi-Fi everywhere, no one talks on the trains, jaywalking is a really big deal here, and people can leave their phones on the table to save it in a cafe. But my general view on Korea is it's probably the trendiest place in the world right now, and that's kind of exciting. The girls here are the trendiest in the world. Personally, I think so. I must say I've never seen so many women with so many designer bags. I'm like, that's like a $2,000 bag. What the fuck? Like, but everyone has one. I guess that's kind of why Korea is the place where I joined a gym for the first time. I started getting my nails done regularly. I got a perm. I had the best haircut of my life twice. I mean, if I wanted plastic surgery, I would get it done here. Things I wish I'd known. It's very much a card-based society, which is great. Having spent time in Japan, which is a very cash-based society, that was a really refreshing thing for me. But then I do wish I'd realized the one time you need cash is on the trains. The T-Money card that you need to top up. Oh my God, I really wish I'd looked at the videos on how to use the subway system here in Korea before I tried to use the subway system. So confident, so arrogant, go down the stairs. Yep, I know what I'm doing. Oh shit, I actually need cash to get a T-Money card. So a lot of the lists online are like, bring deodorant because there's no deodorant. Well, that's bollocks, there's definitely loads of deodorant. Honestly, the main thing I wish I brought was pressed powder. Honest to God, the foundation here is lovely and wonderful, makeup is excellent, but it's all cushion. It's all cushion makeup, which does not suit for my skin at all. I've been clinging onto this thing. There is pressed powder, obviously. In the department stores, you'll find all the Laura Mercier and like MAC or whatever. You know, I'm talking about like drugstore brand pressed powder. Yeah, that's what I miss. Trousers. Can't buy any trousers here. Like, these girls are tiny. No way. Shoes. I bought some shoes and they were men's shoes. I wish I'd known that Koreans can drink. Coming from my experience in Japan, I could outdrink the Japanese guys quite easily. Here, oh no, I'm not even going to attempt the situation with a capital T and a capital S. I originally came to Korea as a springboard to go on to Japan, which I have a visa for, but the borders are closed in Japan and I honestly don't think will be open for anyone really until 2022. I think that's just how things are at the moment. I came here on a 90-day visa waiver, which I can do as a UK citizen. I wanted to stay a bit longer, and the easiest visa that you can switch to whilst in the country without having to leave the country is the student visa, the Korean language. So not student, university student, but Korean language student. That's the one I switched to, and I joined a Korean language school, which was at a university. Korean language school is definitely not for me. The system and how it works here, I mean, bruh. I feel sorry for Korean kids. They study a lot. I didn't come into language training to go on to university in Korea. I wasn't going to take the topic test or anything like that. So I definitely was a lot more kind of like an easygoing approach. You know, I'm not going to study really hard every day kind of thing. And then the other thing is like I am the oldest one in the class and I'm coming in with this very blasé kind of attitude. Like, of course, I'm going to be the worst one in the class. But it was interesting. I don't regret it at all. I just wouldn't recommend it really for anyone in my kind of situation. Certainly at not that point in their life where I already have a career. It was just a means to an end. It's not, yeah, it wasn't the right choice, but like I said, I don't regret it at all. There are better ways to learn Korean for me. I can speak like a little bit. Like, this is the crazy thing. I've been going to school for 4 hours every day for like the past 10 weeks. I can't hold a conversation. Everything is geared toward getting all the grammar in so you can pass a test. I want to be able to go into the pub and be able to have a conversation with a local. Yeah, that is not set me up for that at all. And that's fine, you know, I'll have to just do that myself. You know, I do have a little bit of experience in terms of language school. I went to language school in Japan. The difference there is that I knew more Japanese when I went. It was a passion thing. I really wanted to learn Japanese. With Korean, it was like, oh, well, I'll learn Korean because I'm in the country. I think having that two very contrasting attitudes, well, that definitely had an effect on how much studying I was going to do in Korean, that's for sure. So leaving Korea is probably just as difficult as entering Korea. I'm going back to the UK for the summer for various reasons. You know, I'm going to move out of this nice apartment that I've been living in for the past 5 months almost. It's a lovely little apartment. I'll show you quickly around. A little video that I shot in January when I moved in. When you come in, the first thing that you'll see is the bathroom. Here you are. Through here, you'll see the kitchen area, which is quite cool. Lots of storage space. What's interesting though is that the fridge is huge, but it's on this side and there's a freezer there as well. And then you come through to some more wardrobe space, and then this is the main living space. Living room, bedroom. This door closes, which is pretty neat. I didn't know why you'd want to unless you've got some serious smells going on. And then look, there's a rice cooker that came with it. You know, there's an oven and there's a microwave. A little induction hob, which I haven't used yet and probably will never use. My favourite things about this apartment is I've just done a wash And this is a dryer. I just shoved all my clothes in there and they're just drying basically. Well, they're still a bit wet, but technically they're drying. In fact, this place came with the TV is fantastic. And this at the moment is the mask drawer. But the view is pretty neat. The things I'm gonna miss: the speed of the delivery of anything. You order something, it arrives like very, very quickly. I'm gonna miss the fact that everything has kind of been open here. There's been a 10 o'clock curfew the entire time that I've been here. But I think by the time I come back, which by the way, I plan on coming back, it will be lifted. I'm definitely more of a fan of Japanese food. I wonder if you can tell. Because I'm not very good with spicy food, and Korean food obviously has a lot of spice in it. I think I won't miss the Korean food per se. I'll miss the culture around eating. Gathering with your friends and eating and drinking at the same time. That's what I'll miss the most. There's other like cultural kind of differences which have irked me. Yes, there's a quiet and very respectful culture ingrained in the Korean people here, but I don't know, I've never been shoved so much on the train. People kind of push past you wherever you are in the street. As an English person, I'm like, whoa, they're being really rude. But actually I kind of guess that it's, oh gosh, I mean, you can go way back into Koreans' history and tradition and culture and see where that kind of comes from, which I find all very interesting. I also think there's an ingrained kind of, this is a whole other topic. They might be like an old comment or two from a Korean guy, which really irks me, really rubs me the wrong way. Something like, we'll be walking and they'll just go, oh, she's ugly. I'm like, who the fuck was that? Like, why does that matter? Why did you have to say that out loud? Oh, well, I just thought they're ugly. That's my opinion. Okay, maybe don't say it out loud. Like, why does your opinion matter anyway? Does she care what your opinion of her is? Just little comments like that that sort of added up, just kind of given me an idea of the very sort of misogynistic society that is Korea. Which is, of course, everywhere. I'm not saying that doesn't exist in the UK or Japan or anywhere. It just took me by surprise that it was kind of okay to comment on someone's appearance so nonchalantly. In terms of actually living and working in Korea in the future, I think that's definitely doable. I had a lot of meetings while I was here, which were very enlightening. Obviously, there's a huge difference between the Korean film industry and the film industry in America and London. And I did manage to do a little bit of casting work, which was great. I was very honoured to kind of be invited to be able to do that. It's a very different way of working here. That's a whole other topic, to be honest, but it's an exciting place to be. I mean, Netflix have just put how much, 50 million into their Netflix Korean branch. Do I need to be able to speak Korean to be able to do my job in Korea? Yes. Like 50% of my job, bringing international actors into Korea, is something I could be doing without Korean language. So yeah, I'm glad I quit school early, dropped out, got the refund on the second term. I'm heading back to the UK for now, and there's a company that will be able to sponsor my visa up until their production finishes in October. I'm gonna come back basically once I've had my summer in the UK. It's a plan for now. After then, I literally have no idea. I did manage to do a little bit of travelling around in the beginning, in the first month. I managed to go most places that I wanted to go. I missed out on Jeju Island and Busan, so that'll be the next time. I did all the touristy things, trying on the hanbok, eating all the delicious food, going to see all the sites, all the temples and the palaces. Korea's treated me well. I'm lucky to have been able to come here in this time. I totally don't underestimate my privilege to be able to come here during this time. So future me, thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.
And how do you like it in Korea?
Oh, I love it. I've only been here a really short time.